4 key steps for better academic editing. Hi, welcome to First Editing. I'm Joellen, and today we'll be talking about academic editing and how you can edit your own paper. So before we dive in, it's important to mention that academic English editing differs greatly from the fiction editing that you may have learned in high school. So there is no character development or plot arcs here. So that means you'll want to look for something else. And that something is logic, as well as structural flow of your supporting documentation. So you're not here to tell a story. You're here to convince someone of the validity of your arguments, and that requires subtlety, attention to nuance, and excellent research, resources, and citations. So of course, the self-editing stage is also where you can scan your text for grammar mistakes, typos, and any inconsistencies. Your paper will look much more put together and well thought out as a result of this work. So without further ado, here are the 4 key steps that will improve your academic English editing process. Step 1 is to look at the flow of your arguments. This is where many new students make mistakes because they assume that academic writing works similarly to fiction writing. So they write quite short paragraphs that aren't very structured. But the truth is that research papers commonly include long paragraphs because each and every paragraph should focus on one major point. And that way, your arguments will flow from one another, both logically and structurally throughout the document. So let's look at an example. Let's say you want to argue a certain point by discussing 3 different supporting arguments. In that case, your essay could look a bit like what you're seeing on the screen right now. Paragraph 1 is the introduction. Paragraph 2 talks about the major point. And paragraphs 3 to 5 offer supporting points. So finally, paragraph 6 is a conclusion. So of course, do keep in mind that your structure might slightly differ based on your subject and the topic you're addressing. But overall, your academic writing is about comprehension and therefore quite long arguments. All right, step number 2 here. Here's where you're asking yourself which information is really necessary and which is a bit redundant. It's actually quite common for students and academics to go on a tangent in their writing and take their thought process in completely different and new directions. So if you've done something like this in the past, don't worry, you're not the only one. And that's exactly why self-editing is so important. It's what gives you the space to get rid of everything that doesn't serve a clear purpose in your writing. So look at your paper and ask yourself 3 questions. Does this point support my overall argument? Is this point relevant to the main theme? And is this point backed up by valid sources? So if your answer to any of these is no, you might want to just cut that sentence out. Okay, all the unnecessary information is gone now, which leaves us with step 3. So we're going to check the strength of your arguments. Each of your arguments should be backed by sources that give it validity and weight. And that's really important here. They should also be comprehensive, which means that your argument should ideally take a paragraph rather than 2 sentences in your presentation there. And don't forget that all arguments should be related to the main theme and questioned in a logical and coherent way. So the ending of your paragraph especially should bring the point back to the major question of the paper. Now, if you feel a bit unsure about one of your arguments, you can try to find more sources that will help you understand it a bit better. And our 4th and final step is to do what editing is so famous for. Check your grammar, your punctuation, and the repetitiveness. In other words, check your English language. You can outsource this part of the process to professional editors, or you can do it yourself. But remember to take a few days off before you put on your editing glasses because the space will allow you to gain a fresh perspective on your document. You can also read your document out loud. This will help you see it in if your writing voice works and if your text has a good rhythm to it. And that's it for us today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode, and thank you for watching.